Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. In the state of Texas, $3.8 billion in child support was collected last year. That's according to the Attorney General's office, who handles collecting all of that money. Over 3/4 of that amount comes through garnished wages, money held from an employee's check during each pay period.
But what happens when an employer withholds money from a paycheck but never sends that money to the authorities? That's exactly what happened to an East Texas man and his young children. And as KLTV 7's Julia Janae investigates, the money had been missing for 7 years.
For Justin Meadows, working for P&O Motors as a mechanic in 2006 was like joining a family.
They were a little hometown place, you know, they weren't some big corporation that acted like they cared.
Justin's own family includes his 6 children, not in his custody. He admits he owed back child support when he started working at P&O, but he made it clear to his employer up front that 50% of his wages needed to be held for child support.
I am trying to, as an adult, do the grown-up adult thing.
Justin's wife Becky says his children were the priority.
He made quite a bit of money, but I didn't see much money, and I thought, well, that's okay. It's going to the kids. If this is all that's coming in, at least we know the kids are taken care of. We can get by. We'll make adjustments.
He received occasional calls from the mothers of his children.
Child support's being taken care of. I don't never think negative or ill thoughts about it. So when you call me saying, hey, where's my money at? You need to call the state, not me.
He chalked it up to a backlog at the Attorney General's office and ignored it. But over time, he started asking questions.
I called her and said, hey, are you your child support like you should be? She said, it's funny you ask. No. She told me that she gets a little, she goes weeks without, and then she gets a little bit more. The little bit ain't even a portion, not even a portion.
Frustrated, Justin started doing calculations and reviewing the records.
$28,000 of discrepancies between what my payroll said and what my child support said.
Including interest, over $32,000 from his paycheck over 7 years, but never reaching his children. In 2009 alone, the employer withheld $12,442. The state received about $5,000 of that.
He felt like a failure as far as the way all the kids must look at him. He never has wanted to get out of anything. He just, and this money's not for us. It's the kids' money.
Texas law holds an employer responsible when money is withheld and not turned over to the state. The employer can face either civil penalties or criminal action, depending on how long it takes. But in Justin's case, neither took place right away. After he quit working for P&O in August of 2013, he filed a police report with the Smith County Sheriff's Office for theft and alerted the AG's office. After 8 months, the criminal investigation was suspended, and in 2014, Justin says the money still had not been repaid. KLTV began investigating Justin's claim, and after a month, we approached the employer, Carla Bateman, looking for answers.
For 7 years, he worked here, and money was essentially being stolen from him, and that's something that you're not denying happened.
No, ma'am, I did not pay everything I should have paid. I mean, he was behind when he came here. So it's not all just me.
Is that a reason to take money from him?
It's not, and I'm not arguing that point. I've owned up to it.
Do you feel any remorse for those children not?
Yes, and I paid extra interest and penalty.
Is there a reason that you did it?
It's just things were tight. The depression coming in, everything was tight.
So is that a reason for children to go without money?
No, ma'am.
Family law attorney Amy Long says this isn't an isolated incident.
We're seeing it more often that the employer is actually withholding but not forwarding the money.
She says holding the employer accountable can be challenging.
The non-custodial parent sometimes doesn't want to file suit against their employer for fear of losing their job.
And the parent receiving the child support
may find it difficult to find an attorney that can take their case. Until somebody starts going after them, we're going to see this happening in this economy, unfortunately.
Now, we've contacted the Attorney General's office repeatedly to find out why no civil or criminal action was ever taken against that employer since 2013. The AG's office declined to do an interview with us, but in a written statement, they told us that they took aggressive steps to hold the employer accountable.
Julia, what steps can someone take to make sure this is not happening to them?
Well, Attorney Long and the Office of the Attorney General both say it's a good idea to monitor the child support being taken out of your pay stub. Make sure that it matches the amount that's recorded by the state disbursement unit.
Oh, thank you so much. We really appreciate that, Julia. The employer contacted KLTV to confirm that she's paid the money back in full, including the state required interest. The Meadows say, according to their records, the amount paid still does not match the amount that was taken out.